Hey everybody, it's January 6th, 2025. We're in Zone 10A, San Diego, California. And I just want to do a little micro farm / homestead tour. And so we're going to start in, I call it the food forest section. This is kind of like the entrance. So this is everbearing mulberry. I'll come back to the front, but we're going to go through the gate. And we have around more than 175 fruit trees here. I don't know exactly how many I've encountered recently, but this is a pineapple pear. This is a Flavor King Pluot. Passion fruit all along the fence. This is a Flavor... No, that's an Emerald Drop, and this is a Flavor King. There's a lot of trees there. Sometimes it gets a little confusing. I put tags on them. But yeah, I just wanted to do like a little tour just so I can keep track and video the progress. This is a Pink Lady apple. This is a triple grafted European pear. Recently just put that in at the end of the season. And this is a Fuji apple. And then we have a bunch of IBC totes, and we collect rainwater and we'll pump it from the house all the way to the IBC totes, and we have them just around the whole yard everywhere. That is a Tangelo, and there's another IBC tote back there. And then I have an ice cream bean, a little tiny one inside that fence right there. We'll go back down. So yeah, I try and do everything as organic as possible. So we have animals back here, turkeys, mostly just birds, turkeys, ducks, chickens, so they're Muscovies, Red Barons, and I don't know what kind of chickens, they're just random chickens. We have firewood right here, and this is a vermicompost bathtub. These are also two, I forgot what they're called. They're like a California native bush. I know it looks dead, but it's green. It's actually gonna pop out soon. It's like a little tiny berry. And this is one of our annual gardens. We've got perennials and biannuals and annuals. So we have cilantro. I kind of have a chaotic way about my gardening. So I let things pop up. I'll let it go to seed. I'll let it just sprout up, and I'll just pull weeds out pretty much and just let whatever comes up comes up. This is New Zealand spinach. It's a perennial. Tastes pretty good, but we put in smoothies, and there's habaneros in between. This one is peppers, and there's some random carrots in there. There's green onions over here, tomatoes, and we actually made these raised beds all from just scrap material. Most of it's metal, and then the backside over there is wood. There's bok choy. There's that Malabar spinach. That's a perennial also. There's arugula, cucumbers. Obviously it's not cucumber season, so I'm probably gonna take it out soon. Jalapenos, celery, Swiss chard, lettuce bolted, purple Swiss chard. There's zucchinis. It's also not zucchini season, but it's still pushing out zucchini. So I just let it sit there, and pretty much everything I'll just let it die back. Once it dies back, then I'll take it out. This is a Bailey. It's also a perennial tree spinach, basically. That is cilantro. And underneath there is katuk, but you can't see it. That's more lettuce to seed. There's cauliflower, big old eggplant, more celery, kale, radishes, Swiss chard, daikon radish, broccolini that went to seed. We have bees, so I pretty much just let everything go to seed for them. And also I like to collect seed and just let the seed kind of just go wherever it wants to go and pop up by itself. There's broccoli, tomatoes that popped up from seed, basil plant. I've had that for like 2 years still, and it's still going. Those pipes in the ground, those are worm compost towers. So on the bottom there's holes, and it's buried in the ground about a foot. And I'll put random food scraps and whatever inside there. That is more Swiss chard, and that is a banana. I forgot what kind. We have like 5 different kinds. Ice cream, Cavendish, Dwarf Cavendish, Miwa, and something else. Yeah, we have a lot, so kind of hard to keep track, but I write everything down and try and keep track of it, but it's harder to memorize everything sometimes. That is an everbearing mulberry. I've propagated a lot of everbearing mulberries, just because I like to put them everywhere where the animals are, because they fruit really heavy, and we get to eat the fruit, and the turkeys will eat the fruit. And I also prune them back, and I'll give them to my goats, because we also have goats, sheep, and stuff. So this is a really big loquat, and that is a pink guayaba. There's some fruit on there. The loquat is also have fruit on it, but it's still green. That is a crab apple, an olive, coffee berry, and Mexican lime. That big one's a white zapote. That's another everbearing mulberry. So I've been doing some pruning. Obviously it's winter time, so I still have some stuff to prune, but with that many trees, you kind of just go slow. And since I give it to the animals, I prune it only in bunches, basically, so that way the animals can eat it green. That is a Meyer lemon. I'm actually gonna move that lemon. It's a dwarf. It looks pretty rough, but I'm sure it'll survive once I move it. That is a white guayaba that my grandpa planted. It's pretty big. We'll go this way. Another banana. I want to kind of just put bananas and papayas everywhere in between, like any spaces in the food forest area, or pretty much anywhere. This is a moringa. This thing is massive. It'll get like 35 feet tall at the end of the season, so I cut it back every season, because it has an easier time to survive if you cut it back. I do paint my most of my fruit tree trunks. It's like a half latex, half water, and I'll just mix it up, and then I'll just paint the trunks. Sometimes I'll paint the branches, like of avocados. This is a fig. I forgot what kind of fig it is. I think it's like one of the green figs. That is a Beverly Hills apple, Fuyu persimmon, lemon guayaba. That is also another apple. I forgot which one that is. That's a small donut peach. We just put it in last season. Got it really small. Like, it was half that. The trunk size was half the trunk, and the turkeys ate it. I should have put it in wire. Yeah, some of the smaller stuff I have to protect it out for the first couple of seasons, or till it's big enough, so that way the turkeys don't like mess with the leaves. It's fine. I'll let them eat the leaves on the bottom for most of the stuff, but because it's not going to kill the tree. As long as it doesn't kill the tree, then it's not a big deal to me. This is a Bing cherry, strawberry tree, kumquat. That's cotton, this one, and then that's sugarcane. This is, I have tags everywhere. A Flavored Delight Pluot. I have 2 of these. I accidentally bought an extra one. That is a type of coffee. I think it's called Catamore. And this big one right here, this is a Guamuchil. This is the red one. That's Plueri. And Pineapple Guayaba is the top one. And then that one is a Strawberry Guayaba. Back there, this used to be passion fruit too. It's dying back, so we just replanted another one. This is Babcock Peach, White Peach, Santa Rosa Plum, All-in-One Almond, Double Delight Nectarine. This is another kind of pluot. Oh, it's a Flavor Queen pluot. So we have bees back there. We have about 8 hives maybe right now active. That's a pomegranate, Double Delight Nectarine, another mulberry. I don't know what kind of tangerine this is, but it's a dwarf tangerine, and this thing gets loaded. My dad planted it, so some of the trees that, like the older trees, my dad planted, and I pretty much just guess on the type that it is. We have irrigation everywhere pretty much, but we do reuse water. We reuse all our sink water, our the only water we don't use is the toilet water. So we reuse the sink water, we reuse the shower water, and we reuse the laundry water. So we filter it a little bit so basically we make a hole in the ground, there's a pump in there, we filter it, and then it just pumps through, and we let the mulch do the rest pretty much. We don't use it on the vegetable garden, it's just on the trees. That's a flavor, there's a Plueri back there, another Plueri, that's a peach, and that's a nectarine. And then this is a Barbados cherry, and there's a blood orange, and the one in the back is a Summer Delight Apium, and this is also another Apium. I forget what kind it is. I think it's the cotton candy. This is an Oro Blanco grapefruit. There's a Chirimoya, and this is another kind of tangerine. This one has seeds in it. This is a seedless tangerine. This is a white Cipote. That's the second Summer Delight. And then this is a 2-in-1 planted jujube. So it's a Lee and Lana Lang. They're deciduous, so obviously they lose their leaves during the winter time. And since we have ducks, we pretty much just have random ponds everywhere. And I'll pretty much just move them around. So I'll fill them up. They'll do their thing in there, poop in there, and the water splashes out and waters the surrounding areas. It's a lot of information to put, so I'm sure it'll be easier like saying things as I go, since it's my first video. But this is another banana, an orange quince or membrillo. Yeah, they pretty much just go crazy on it as soon as things fall to the ground. That is another orange. I think it's a Valencia. A sugarcane, and this big one right here is a Nectaplum. Then we have quail back there, and more IBC totes. This is an Australian finger lime, a blackberry, and another Apium right here. That is Chaya. This is a Dappled Dandy Pluot, and that's a Flavor Grenade Pluot. Then we have rabbits, and this is where all the birds go to sleep at night. I just lock them up in there. At nighttime, they know how to go in, just to protect them from the raccoons and the possums. And then I planted some bananas. There's 3 different kinds of bananas all right next to it, and so they sleep right there. And so I figured most of the poop falls down and it'll just feed the bananas, and then when it rains, the water will come off the top and just water the bananas and break the poop down. This is a bacon avocado. So now we pretty much just all plant our avocados in raised beds. It's a mix of DG mainly and peat moss, sometimes sand, and perlite, and then we put a little bit of worm castings in there. But that's a bacon avocado. And then we have citron, or a Buddha's hand. This is big one right here is a Haas avocado. And then back there is a governor's plum. And we have a grape growing up the chicken coop. And then this is the Mexicola. So yeah, see, it's planted. So the only one that's planted in the ground is the Haas. And then pretty much all the rest of them, other than the Pinkerton also. And this is Fuerte. And then that's a Pinkerton. And that is it's a pear, but I forgot the kind of pear it is. And that's it for the food forest area, and then I'll go to the next section. So this is the front yard again. The food forest is in the side yard. So I have random chayas, nasturtiums, random tree kales and tree collards, dragon fruit, planted a bunch of different date palms. They all go in a circle around the edge. Eventually, once they're big enough, we're gonna cut these palm trees down, and then we'll just have date palms. That's the plan, at least. It's grapes, different kinds of grapes. This is a golden grape. I think that's the light purple one, and then the table green grape, and then another gold, and then a dark purple. And that's another cherry. I think it's a royal cherry. That's a double delight nectarine. We actually have 2 of these just because we like the flavor so much of it. And more dates. This is a golden nectar plum. That's a dark grape. Suriname cherry. And this is a Java plum, Jamu. More dates. That's a June plum. And this is a Miwa kumquat. And that's a flavor punch plueri. Navel orange. These are all recently planted, pretty much, just like 1 or 2 seasons ago. This is another, I think it's a Fukiyushi kumquat. And then we have longevity spinach. And that's kind of like my little nursery area. Oh, this is a ginkgo biloba. Yeah, that small one right there. That's a blood orange. And then there's 3 pistachios. So that's a female, a male, and then another female. And this is a Hachia persimmon, the astringent one. So the Fuyu is non-astringent, and that one's astringent. So you have to wait for it to ripen. This is a Mahan pecan. And then we have a walnut, placentia. Yeah, placentia. Then we have a little mandarin, Algerian. This guy was struggling just because I feel like he was in between the palm trees. And so he was shading out. but he's doing a lot better and he's set fruit this year, so that's good. And this really big one right here is a Jamaican cherry. It's probably the fastest growing fruit tree that you're gonna be able to find, besides mulberry or moringa, but moringa is not a fruit tree, or I wouldn't consider it a fruit tree, more of a legume. That is a Barbados cherry. Then we have longevity spinach, chaya, and that's a little tiny sapodilla inside there. There's a jaboticaba under there, 2K apples, and a rose apple. And here we have another banana bunch. I actually saved this one from a school, so I don't know what kind of variety it is, but it's fruited already. There's actually the bunch right there. And then we have a tamarind in the back. That's survived two seasons already, so I'm excited about that one. There's lemongrass, chaya, and seedling avocado back there. And we have an ice cream bean inside this container. I like to plant more stuff in the container, anywhere where there's cement, just to take advantage of the space. So this is still the front yard, but just like the side section of it. I have a Pakistan mulberry there, and then another passion fruit, and I'm trying to grow over the fence. Another banana, and then a bunch of different ever-bearing mulberries, all growing to the sides, along the sides, and it's right next to the fence where the animals are. The animals are actually on the other side. I have a moringa and a guamuchil. So in this section, pretty much just things that grow easier, just to try and fill up this space because there's nothing here. And then I'll take you to the livestock area. So I said I was gonna take you to the livestock area, but I'm actually gonna show you the front yard. So I planted a bunch of different elephant grass, all in clumps, just to fill up the space because there's nothing there. And I'm trying to grow as much fodder for the animals as possible, and they really like it. So I put elephant grass, and then in front of that is chaya, and then I'm also gonna put longevity spinach in between. That's a plan for that. And then I'll go to the next section. So this is the front yard still, but to the left, and I consider this like the desert area. So I've collected a couple different cuttings of cactuses, and that's all along there. There's agave, a barrel cactus, elephant plant, yucca. See different kinds of cactus, aloe vera. Still have some spaces I want to fill up. And then that big one is a mesquite. In the front here we have our farm stand. I don't really put that stuff that often yet because it's I only put excess pretty much. So there's a second mesquite, and we have a little library in the front. And then I planted a bunch of cactus. In the front is fodder for the animals. So during growing season, this is pretty loaded with cactus and cactus fruits. It has a couple of them, but they don't ripen fully. So yeah, I pretty much just give them to the turkeys. That's another strawberry tree. In this section, I want to plant natives. This is like the front yard. And so there's 3 oak trees, and that's a native blackberry. You can see the tangelo on the other side. And that's it for this section. This is like the middle of the private drive. So I wanted to plant some edible fodder. So I planted chaya. There's willows and mixed in between the oleanders. Oleander is the only thing that the animals can't eat that we have growing. So I'd like to mix it out and put other stuff that is actually usable. So now we're in the livestock area. This is like the side yard. There's all our animals back here. This is Maggie, Samsara, Bubba, HP, Lorenzo, Pretzel, and Ignacio. We have our chicken coop back here, so we also have chickens back here, and they pretty much just like pest control. And I started planting other trees. So there's mulberry, oak tree, bamboo, another mulberry, and different kind of bamboo. And I'd eventually like to plant more trees along the wall. And that's pretty much it for this section. It's just animals because it's harder to grow stuff over here. I forgot this section, but it's just the front yard part. It has a pond, and so I have like different water plants. And I actually thrifted this beehive from an estate sale, so I'm gonna add that to the hives over there. And there's azula, and I actually use that for an animal feed for the chickens. It grows really fast, and it has really high protein. And you can see all the bees going crazy on the water. I don't know if you can see it on the phone, but yeah. So now I've gone to the backyard. This is the last section of the yard. And the dogs are back here, but we have different herbs, rosemary, oregano, mint. It's kind of just chaotic in there, but yeah. And we have a citrus. I think it's a tangerine. Papaya. Another ever-bearing mulberry. And that big one's a Pakistan mulberry. I'm not done pruning that one. You can see how big it is. Still have to prune it for the animals. There's 2 more raised garden beds here. And then we have a curry plant in the back, longevity spinach, tropical blackberry, ginger, African gooseberry, star fruit, more elephant grass. Section's a little crazy. I have some stuff in pots here. Pomegranate, just different kinds of figs. Another mulberry. And that's a Russian mulberry. And then a lavender mulberry. Pakistan mulberry. Then we have a cherimoya, and this is a chicken tractor. I run turkeys in there sometimes, or baby chickens. There's bananas in between each tree. And I have a macadamia in here, another banana, a carob, longevity spinach. That is a random bitter melon that grew from seed. Another chicken tractor. Here I have a couple of rootstock plants, or rootstock trees that I'm growing to propagate stuff. So that's for plums, that is for apricots, that's for apples. They're really small. I just planted them this season. Another apple and a plum. And then that's a white Persian mulberry. Random artichokes that just grew. That one right there is a wax bamboo. And then a banana and a longan. And then an ice cream bean. I actually grew the ice cream bean from seed. Another vermicompost bathtub. So you have more garden beds back here. The dogs kind of dug up, so I have to fix them. This is a really old fig tree. I think it's a mission fig. This is a tri-light. So it's a peach apricot mix, and that is a picotum, so it's a plum apricot peach. More raised beds and Eureka lemon. This is a mid-pride peach. I have a sweet lime over there in the pot. That is a ruby rose, or ruby red grapefruit. And that's a Valencia orange, a dwarf. And then this back section, I used to have chickens back here, but the dogs kind of just barked at him, so I moved all the chickens to other sections that the dogs aren't in. And I have mangoes back here. It's an Edge Hill. These are 3 seedling mangoes. And we have chaya, collards. That's a jelly palm. There's sugar cane and more elephant grass. Let me get through this section. It's a little bit jungly back here. It's harder to get back here, so I can't really put mulch, or it's harder to put mulch. And that's an Adamoya. What the heck? This is a Manila mango. That's a pink guayaba. Another moringa, a white gomuchi. And this is a big Washington orange. And another mulberry. So yeah, I used to have the chickens here. I don't have them here anymore. And then we have more elephant grass. And then just different tree collards, a bay leaf. That is a yellow passion fruit, and then 2 different clumps of bananas. We have a big clump up there, it's smaller bananas. And then a dwarf peach and a Washington orange. And that's pretty much it for all the trees. There's a lot of information, so hopefully and it's just harder to do it all on one video, but I'm sure I'll get used to it more as I do it more often. And I like to just keep records of just everything growing, because I think it'd be cool. So see you next time.